Lhykhis, the Whispering Web, is the enigmatic Phoenix Lord who founded the Aeldari's Warp Spiders Aspect Warriors. Long absent from recorded history, she was considered mythical by Imperial scholars and even believed lost by her own people. However, in the era Indomitus, she has re-emerged as a fiercely active protector of the Asuryani, crossing the galaxy to aid them.
Welcome back to my channel, everyone. In this video, I'll be painting Lhykhis. So I've chosen a different color scheme from the box art because I really wanted to experiment with pink OSL or like purple OSL. So first off, I zenithal from above here, and then I also zenithal from below on this character. I've sub-assembled it just to make it easier as well. I kind of missed it on the top, like on the front of the helmet and the shoulders. You can use masking putty if needed to like cover the base or the sword or any areas you're worried to cover with purple by accident. So I use this fluorescent paint. It's like a pinky purple color from Vallejo game color, and that goes on there. It looks very strong. It really pops immediately. That's one thing I noticed. And then I used the same paint here as well. It's a bit thinner here. Then I used Pterodon turquoise to paint the hair. You've seen here I've painted the back armor red, but I'll change that later, and I'll tell you why soon. Then I used non-oil just to go over the armor, just to pick out all the crevices, and the same for the base. And then I dry brush as well, just to pick out those rocks. Then I used some Garrick sewers just to go over some of the dirt areas on the base. It's a really good paint to use. So this is how it looks, and I wasn't sold because the red kind of takes me out of the OSL effect. So I went online and I found this image, and it's exactly what I wanted. So what I did, I took it apart, and then I used Black Legion contrast paint, and I painted that over the red part. And because it's a contrast paint, it actually gave it a kind of a red edge highlight, which was pretty cool. Then I used this white paint from Tooth & Coats, Trooper White, and I just went over the web, not completely covering it. So the sides you'll see the purple pink, and I did that from below as well. Just basically edge highlighting from above. And then I used that same white paint to pick out this warp spider icon. Then I used titanium white ink, and I kind of misted it over the web I just sprayed. I just edge highlighted, and I also pick out the arms, the robotic arms, and the bottom of the back armor piece, just like the tip of it, because it's going to be catching some of the light. Then I use that same white and I go over the blade, which has been painted Pterodon turquoise, both sides. I do it like this, so it's basically 1, 2, 3. And then I go back over the bottom of the model now, and I spray a zenithal again, but this time I focus more on the toes, the feet and the shins, but I still kind of missed the rest of the body from below, because I wanted to pick up the next color. So it looks like this. Then I use Magenta. This is another ink from Lhykhis, and I just spray that over all the areas I've just sprayed white. And I do it very soft. I don't go too wild, because I still want to have the white showing. Like, I want it to look a bit pink. The longer I spray, it will become darker and darker, so I don't want to do that. I also catch the rock as well, like closer to the rock will be a stronger color, and the bottom of the back armor piece is catching the light too. So this is how it looks. Then I go back with white and I just pick out the web again, only the web. And I still have the white, so I just edge highlight the blade now. I used the side of my brush for this one, and I barely touched the model. It's very tricky. You can see I make some mistakes. I just quickly wipe off the paint and try again. But I really like the effect. That's how it looks. Then I use the same white paint and I pick out the eyes. I should have used an even smaller brush, or made it even. I had a bit too much paint on the brush, so it was a bit tricky. I wouldn't recommend it. The eyes here are very tricky because the angle as well. I use that same white paint again and pick out the little lightning parts. I use a gold, I think it's Retributor gold. I just pick out all the gold areas on the model now, like the blade. But what I do for the body is a bit different. For the body, I still want to keep that purple OSL from below, the pink purple OSL. So what I do, I kind of dry brush the gold over the areas that will be like metallic, so you can still see the purple or pink below it. You don't need to cover everything. Maybe on the top part you can. And I also tidy up these gold parts of the arms too, because there was a bit of overspray before. I've glued on the model now, so it's fully glued, and I use non-oil again to go over the top part of the model and the crevices too, just to dull it down and bring out some of the details that might have been lost due to overspray. And I also go over the red part too with non-oil, just to pick out this symbol, and then the gold parts too. So it looks a bit shiny, so you can use a flat varnish and then it will dull it down. Then I use this blue from Lhykhis ink. Any kind of sky blue is fine. I just airbrush the mid-tone, so it's white, light blue, and then Pterodon turquoise, and it has a nice transition to it, and it makes it pop a bit more. I edge highlight with Emperor's Children pink on the areas that might be catching the light from below. So that's like the corners of the helmets, maybe the kneecaps, the toes, and just take your time. So you see here I'm picking out each armor plate as well, using the side of my brush to pick it out. And then I also edge highlight the base. So you just pick out the areas that will be catching the light. So I use a pink for this, because usually those areas are the brightest. It makes them look much sharper and they stand out more. This is after the matte varnish. You can see it's toned it down a lot. It's a bit more balanced now. Then I go to these weapons, guns, I guess, blasters, and I paint them white. And then I use a red fluorescent paint, and I just cover this part here. Just add a bit of interesting glowing effects. And this is the final model. So I'm very chuffed with it. It was very difficult, lots of repainting and trial and error and experimentation as well. So it's a good way to learn and to improve. I recommend it. It may feel sometimes that, you know, you're messing the model up. Well, actually, you're still learning. So your next model, or if you choose to strip it of the paint, you will have some knowledge then and you become a better painter. Please leave a like, comment as well. It really goes a long way. And I hope to see you soon. Bye, everyone. Take care.